1, 2, 1, 2. This one on? Oh, this one's not on. That's why. Hold on. Only two is on. 3 I got it off, but. One, two, 1, 2. All right. Hello, hello. All right, perfect. Wait, I gotta put this headset on because you're gonna have to like run, right?
It's running already.
Oh, it's running already. Perfect. I can't even see.
This is called preparedness at its finest. Here we go.
Then you rolled in with your hair in the wind, baby, without warning.
All right, welcome back to season 2, episode 1 of Beyond the Scoreboard. I'm John here with Chris. Chris, how are you doing?
Oh man, well I'm doing all right. Snow, not the unfortunate thing here in New York, but you know we'll take it. We'll take it.
Yep, we'll take it. All right. We don't love it, but it's something that we have to deal with. It's not fun. We got about, I don't know, I want to say, looks like we got about like 1.5 feet of snow.
At least, yeah. And they're saying now there's supposed to be more snow coming on
I
Sunday.
heard about that.
So-
There's supposed to be snow, what, Saturday into Sunday next week?
Yeah, so I just hope that whatever forecast or whatever goes off to the shore and we don't have to worry about it because I do not want to go back outside and shovel, believe it or not. So,
No.
it was terrible.
As much fun as that is, let's save that for next year.
Listen, when I was a little kid and we were like 6, 7, 8 years old.
Oh, 6, 7?
Yeah, oh my gosh. It was fun going down the snow, building the snowman, with your dad and the sled. Now when you're our age, 18, 19 years old, and you gotta shovel that snow,
It's told pick up a shovel and help with the snow.
That's what it's a painful. Like it used to be a fun time in the snow. Now it's like when it snows, you're just like, oh my goodness, I gotta go outside and shovel
Or you got to spend $500 to hire someone. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. Yeah.
These people, they charge. I mean, I understand how much money they charge for, the purposes, but my grandparents they have a guy, and it's usually a flat rate. But when it's a blizzard, she charges them $600. Like it's ridiculous.
That's nuts. That's like unheard of. But they gotta make their money somewhere. So
yeah. Anyway, let's talk football. So we have our Super Bowl teams. We have hold on. Steelers?
no.
Hold on, wait. Patriots.
Yes, that's one of them.
I don't
Well, you got the AFC team right, the Patriots. The NFC is the Seattle Seahawks.
Right. Okay. So we have Patriots and Seahawks. Now, I'm not into football, so give me a break here, okay? I'm really not into football. I am a baseball person, and I'm happy baseball's coming back.
Yes, we are so excited.
So what do we think? What are our thoughts?
Well, it's a Super Bowl matchup for a rematch from 10 years ago when Tom Brady was in the Super Bowl, and we all know how that went down. Russell Wilson threw the pass and got knocked it out of his hand, and the Patriots ended up winning that. So 10 years later, we're getting another rematch of that Super Bowl. And let's be honest here. I think the Seattle Seahawks are just going to absolutely destroy them.
I'd like to see the Seahawks win.
They're going to destroy the Pats. Now, don't get me wrong. Drake May and Mike Vrabel absolutely turned that franchise around. This team had 3 wins, and to a year later, new coach, turned Drake May into an unbelievable quarterback in the MVP conversation. Just great things all around. But you got to give where credit's due. And for Seattle as well, bringing in a head coach who's never had a head coach position ever and turning the Seattle Seahawks around and back into the Super Bowl. Two unbelievable franchises, what they did in over a year to turn their franchises around and to both make into the Super Bowl. But the Seattle Seahawks are just on another level. And I do believe that they are going to be winning Super Bowl 60.
I tend to agree. And it's not just because of, their team. It's because they have better owners. Their ownership is better.
Even though Robert Kraft, God bless his soul, is still running that team, which I don't even know how. You have him and Jerry Jones. And Jerry Jones wants to catch up to Robert Kraft. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I'm sorry if you're a Cowboys fan, but we'll see if that ever happens.
At JJ Seglia is not happy that the Rams lost. I know. So
yeah, he
let's take a moment of silence for JJ, please. Thank you.
He's one happy camper. I don't know if he's even here today. I don't know. Obviously, we didn't have classes yesterday, so
listen, if you do not follow Sideline Iona on Twitter, go look. JJ is very passionate about what he produces. He's very good at it, and JJ, I'm free promotion right now.
It is free promotion. Yeah, just unfortunate for the Rams. They had a tremendous season. You gotta give credit where credit's due to Sean McVay and the entire team. Just came up short. It came up short, and this team, they know who they are. Just sucks. It just sucks because this team had the chance to be the number 1 seed, and they just fumbled. They fumbled down the stretch. And then when you had to face this team again, all on the line for a Super Bowl 60 appearance. Listen,
look,
there's always next season.
Yeah, I get my heart broken every year, every single year, because my team, the Buffalo Bills, every single year they make it to the playoffs, and every single year, it's either the AFC, the wild card, or the division series. They freaking lose every year.
It's a curse. It's
a curse.
It's a curse.
And I'm very happy that they fired their coach, because their coach, at the end of that last game, he made a bad call, and they could have made it to the CS, or whatever they call it, the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
But he made a call where they didn't go for the touchdown. They went for the field goal.
Yep.
And they lost the game. So,
Well, there had to be change, because when you keep running back and back every single season, there has to be change. And obviously, the coach it's the coach's fault, really. I don't even know who's going to be the new head coach of the Bills. Obviously,
well, there was talk about the Pittsburgh coach.
Yep.
But he can't, because he's still in his contract.
Yep, and he's taking a walk year this year. So technically, if they wanted to be a coach, you have to quote unquote trade. I don't know how it works, but he's off the table.
They'd have to. What would happen is they'd have to pay the Steelers, whatever the remainder of his contract is. So is it $30 million, something like that?
Something like that.
So they'd have to pay that, and then they'd have to give him his own salary.
Yep.
So they'd be negative basically in their investment.
Also Phillip Rivers was mentioned as a candidate, but he dropped out of the race. Mike McDaniel from the Dolphins, he's now the offensive coordinator of the Chargers. He was supposed to be the head coach. He dropped out of the race. I don't know. It's one of those things where, who wants the job? Obviously, we have a lot of head coaching jobs. John Harbaugh went to the Giants.
Yeah, that race is over finally. It took 2 months.
Oh, yeah. Well, that process, as soon as he went off the board, I think every Giants fan was like, we got to go.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else. The Dolphins head coach got hired. Somebody from the Packers. I forget his name. What else? Who else got? I'm forgetting a few others, but that's the main ones I know. But we'll see what happens with the Bills. Obviously, Josh Allen was very emotional after that game. Very, very emotional.
Well, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Considering the fact that he almost went to the Super Bowl last year.
But, when you don't have Mahomes this year, when you don't have Joe Burrow and the Bengals, when you don't have Lamar and the Ravens, everybody thought this was going to be the Bills' year, because you didn't have those three and it was kind of wide open.
They should have had this year, honestly. They had a very good season. I want to say they were 12-8. Could be wrong. Maybe they were 11-9.
They were, let's see,
They're either 12-8 or 11-9.
12-5.
12-5. Okay.
Yeah.
They had a bye week, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
It sucks. It really sucks. But everybody had the Bills going to the Super Bowl. Literally everybody talked to, oh yeah, the Bills. This is the Bills' year. This is the Bills' year. And then when they lost to the Broncos, everyone's like, oh, what happened? What happened?
They
I thought-
shouldn't have lost that game. They
No.
lost that game literally by a field goal. And
There was also the catch in that game
Yeah.
too that,
it was
which
a bad call.
it was.
He actually caught the ball.
They did. And the refs, didn't call it. And there's something you can do. There's really nothing. It sucks.
That's
I'm
the other
sorry.
part of football that's really annoying to me. With the refs in football, I complain about the umpires of baseball all the time, but the refs in football, oh my God, they are so bad. They don't know what they're doing.
They're getting paid way too much. I don't know how much an NFL referee makes, but it's got to be like
They are so bad.
it's bad. It's bad. Well, you want to talk about MLB umpires? I just hope that the robot umpires come in like soon.
Should we move to baseball?
Let's do it. I mean, football. We talked about it. Well, Seahawks are going to win. They're going to raise the Lombardi Trophy. We got Bad Bunny at the halftime show.
That should be interesting. I don't know if it's going to be good, but it should be interesting.
Should be interesting. Well, we need like a country artist in there. Or
Oh,
something.
yeah, we do. We need
We need
Luke
Jay
Combs.
Z. Jay Z's
No, we
a
need Luke Combs.
yes. Yeah, so he could sing his new album that's coming out.
The way I am. March 20th.
There you
If
go.
you're not,
Free promotion. Yeah,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
move it into baseball now. Baseball's coming up soon. Woohoo!
thank the Lord.
Thank God.
Well, you know what I say? I miss baseball so much. And then I'm like, I see this video on TikTok all the time. It's like, why do I love this sport so much? Because you bring in a pitcher who can do 6 shutout innings, and then in the 7th inning, you bring in a guy who gives up 10 runs, and then you start screaming that you hate this sport, and you hate the team, and the team sucks.
Yeah, it's God, I can't wait. Well, at least for both of our franchises, at least for the Mets side, let's talk about that for a second. It's gonna be I don't even know what to expect to the season. I really don't. When this all season began, there's a lot of talk about who's leaving.
You guys should have had one boost this offseason.
Well,
Both teams should have.
for the Yankees, I think, re-sign Cody Bellinger, which woohoo. I don't know. Listen, it's January 27th. There's still a lot of, pitchers left on the market, still a lot of people left to be signed. But it just seems like for the Yankees, they're just going to run it back with the same group. The only addition they added was re-signing Bellinger. And then for the Mets side, oh my goodness.
Well, not the same group because we didn't have Cole last year. And we're
That-
not going to have Cole.
That's true.
We're not going to have Cole till May.
That's
probably.
true.
Probably not going to have Cole till May. But
Cam Schlittenbaugh's
once
gonna
we
be in the
get Cole
rotation.
back, the goal is World Series. And I see it. I see it happening. If they know what they're doing, if they don't screw it up like they did last year in the division series where they could have won that game.
They could have.
Let's all go back to 2024 for a second. Game 5 of the World Series.
Oh boy, what a game that
What
was.
a game that was. Yep. It was the worst World Series in the history of the World Series.
That game turned into a lot of memes.
I'm excited to see what Soto is going to do this year.
Yeah, he and Lindor. Obviously, we all know the story. There's no Alonso, there's no McNeil, and there's no Brendan Nimmo. They're all gone. This is a new look Mets. They wanted to change the
And
culture.
They got rid of Diaz too, right?
And Diaz, yeah. Diaz, you didn't even call us back to give us a final offer. You just said screw us and went to the Dodgers.
Well,
Which,
Well, I mean,
understandable.
look, they kept the best pitcher on the team, Clay Holmes. I mean,
Best
yeah.
pitcher on the team. Well, we finally got an ace in Freddie Peralta, which I'm excited about.
that's good.
We needed an ace because if we did not get Freddie Peralta, you are counting on Nolan McLean, who, by the way, absolute dominated when he came up in the minor leagues in late August. But then you're going to count on him to have over 170 innings under his belt in his second year. Well, he's technically still considered a rookie because there was a certain inning amount you have to get. I think it's like 19, and the Mets pulled him at like 18 and like 2/3 or something. So he's still eligible for Rookie of the Year for this year. when all the news broke down that Alonso and Diaz were gone, I was pissed. Don't get me wrong, because I grew up watching these guys in the farm system develop. Obviously, Diaz came over from the trade, but I watched Alonso blossom to the player he is from the minor leagues. I watched Brandon Nimmo and I watched Jeff McNeil all come up in this 2019 group and everything. When I found out that Diaz went to the Dodgers, I was furious. Most like everybody else in this sport, that another player is signing with the Dodgers to join their quote-unquote Avengers super team. Right as soon as that deal got announced, I knew in my mind, okay, that just means Alonso is out. And the next day, sure enough, breaking news, Pete Alonso and the Baltimore Orioles signed a 5-year deal. And I was pissed. Now, when you look at the roster now compared to what it was in 2025, it's a very interesting roster. And here's why. Because number one, we have an inexperienced first baseman, Jorge Polanco, playing position he's never played ever in his entire professional career. The only time he played first base,
He's a third baseman, right?
I don't even know. He plays in the infield. I think either second, short, third, whatever.
I think he's supposed to be a third base. Didn't they switch it? The third baseman's playing first and the first baseman's playing third or something like that?
Yeah, so Bo Bichette used to play shortstop and a little bit of second base when he came back to the World Series. He's moving over to third. And he's another guy that he has never played a single inning under his belt in third base. So essentially what you're going to have is an inexperienced third baseman thrown to an inexperienced first baseman across the diamond. I don't even know how that's going to work. Am I expecting a lot of errors? Absolutely. But once they get comfortable position, hopefully there's not a lot of errors.
It's like putting Stanton at first base. It's literally like putting.
I don't know how it's going to work.
It's kind of insane, but this brings back. You ever seen Moneyball?
I have.
It kind of is like Moneyball.
It is. I don't know how it's gonna work. I really don't. It's gonna be so interesting. And yeah, there's all the praise. Oh, even Mendoza was like, I saw a clip on Twitter, like him like praising Bo Bichette. He was like, yeah, I love what I'm seeing from him. He's taking like, good ground balls and good reads. I mean, what are you gonna say? Like, oh, this guy sucks. Am I excited about this season? Yes. Am I nervous about the season? Yes. Because this season could go either two ways. Number one, this team could absolutely surprise us and do really good, and we could be sitting here whining and crying about not having Alonso, whatever. I think Bo Bichette is going to surprise a lot of people because his numbers on runners in scoring position were higher than Alonso's. Now, granted, Alonso had a really good season last year, but what the Mets were lacking a lot last year was runners in scoring position.
Yes. They couldn't get on base last year was their problem.
And you thought Alonso was going to cash him in with a home run or RBIs, whatever. Didn't happen. Now, he did have, 100 plus RBIs. But Bo Bichette, you look at his numbers, he has like a 900 OPS. He has like a 313 average of runner scoring position. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. And I think that he's going to forget. I think us fans are going to forget about Alonso. No, I'm not even going to say that. We're going to miss Alonso, though, granted, because of all the things he did with the home run record and everything. But I think Bo Bichette's going to surprise a lot of people, and we're going to forget about Alonso.
I don't know if I go as far as forget. I think that you'd say
we won't be like
maybe you won't miss him.
Yeah,
if the team does good enough.
We hope.
I thought. Now, this was my crazy mind. I thought the Yankees were going to try to really get Alonso.
God, if he went to the Yankees, I would have been.
I know you guys would have been so angry, but
I would have been pissed.
I had a feeling if they weren't going to re-sign Bellinger, they were going to get Alonso. And the Yankees basically said to Bellinger, screw you. We're giving you $120 million. You can either take it or leave it.
And essentially signed the same deal with just $5 million more. That was what was it?
They had no open target for negotiating. They were like, take it or goodbye.
And another one of those Scott Boras clients, which Scott Boras, if you don't know baseball, he's one of the most evil looking.
He's a terrible agent.
He's a terrible agent.
He only cares about himself.
Basically, yeah. I mean, half the players I'm assuming they're on the market are probably half Scott Boras clients. That Scott Boras is trying to get every single penny and every single dollar out of these teams.
Is what's his name? Otani is Scott Boras' client?
No, I don't even know who is. I know
Some guy.
Soto.
Some guy who wants $50 million in his pocket. It's
Yeah,
called-
seriously. I know Soto's got Boris. I'm trying to think who else.
Of course, Soto's got bored.
Alonso was Boris.
Hold on, wait. We're getting an incoming text from JJ Seglia.
Oh boy. What did he say?
Breaking news: Bills just hired Joe Brady.
Huh. Well, look at that. We got breaking news right on the podcast. Interesting.
Let me text him back. Thanks, JJ. Watch the podcast. Gave you free.
Yeah, there it is. All right, breaking news. Let's see what we got here. Obviously, this is just breaking as we're live on the air, so a lot of information is still trying
This
to.
is breaking news. Let's get a button over here.
Wow.
Okay, good enough. Breaking news: the Bills just hired Joe Brady for what is it? Is it 5 years?
I believe so. Yeah, it's the offensive coordinator.
So not a head coach. So they still don't have a head coach.
No, he is the head coach. It's just that they're promoting him from offensive coordinator to
To
a head coach.
head coach.
Let's see. I don't know. We don't have any other information. This is Yahoo just breaking.
I mean,
Go on Twitter. Let's see what we got.
I mean, look, I could have seen that happening, but I didn't think it was gonna happen. I thought that really they'd get someone else on the market, but people were discussing that maybe he was going to become the next coach.
Yeah.
But
Let's see what we got here.
still got the old Twitter logo.
I do. I don't have it updated, guys. I know. I gotta do a better job.
He's
at it.
not X. He's
No,
still
I'm
the bird.
I'm Twitter. Yep, it's a 5-year deal.
5-year deal.
It's a 5-year deal. Wow, that's
It's interesting.
very interesting.
I don't know if look, most people didn't see this coming, but I was having this conversation with a fellow colleague of mine, and I said maybe they were going to do this, but it wasn't certain. It wasn't something that was set in stone. It was, something. But as their offensive coordinator previously, he knows the team. He knows how their players play. And hopefully the goal, I'm assuming, is for them to get a Super Bowl win. And, this is good news. I'm
And
happy.
Yeah, he has a high expectations with the Bills. Everybody loved him in the organization. They brought him in as the quarterback coach back in 2022 after 2 seasons with the Carolina Panthers as the offensive coordinator. So somebody in-house that the Bills considered. So this is definitely, huge move, I would say. And we'll see if Joe Brady can finally turn this franchise around, what Sean McDermott could not do with these organization.
So again, we have breaking news: Joe Brady, the new head coach of the Bills. This is unexpected,
No. Yeah.
definitely, but something that we can see potentially being a positive for the Buffalo Bills as they move into their new season and their new stadium next season. And they have a new stadium. Time for a championship.
Yeah, there you go. New stadium, new coach, new culture that they're trying to build. It's going to be very, very exciting for this Bills organization. And hopefully this time next year, we can be talking about the Buffalo Bills making it to Super Bowl 61.
I love to see it.
But we're not getting too far ahead of
No,
ourselves.
we're not getting too far ahead of
We have to
ourselves.
see, how this team runs. What does a Joe Brady team look like? That's going to
the truth is we haven't seen one ever.
No.
So now we get the chance to see one. And I'm assuming that's why they only gave him a 5-year deal, because they don't know exactly what he's going to look like. However, 5 years is still a long time, but it's not long like some of these guys get 15-year deals.
Well, you also got to look at this in a different way, because yes, Brady was the OC for the Bills, and he's seen what this organization needs to get over that hump. He's been there, in those tough losses like last weekend and in Kansas City, and when they lost to the Bengals. He's
And
been
last season too, not just this season.
last season. So he's been under the Sean McDermott era. He's been open eye. He's been looking about, and I'm sure he's definitely got some ideas that he wants
Yeah.
to bring over in his own way, and things that maybe McDermott didn't see that he's seeing.
Definitely. And as offensive coordinator, he's definitely been in contact with McDermott and having these discussions about how the team's going to advance and how the team can, work on plays, work on different ways to be defensive, but also, to score. That's the ultimate goal.
Yeah, that's a definite goal.
We're looking forward to next season with the Bills. And then, we're looking forward to baseball too. We're looking forward to the ways of the Mets, the Yankees, see what they can do.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can bring a championship back to the East Coast this year.
Yeah, that's what Doc Gooden said during the baseball writers. He was like, no hate to the Dodgers, but let's please bring back a world title back to New York. I think it's been long overdue. Now, we were talking, and I'm just going to bring up basketball for a second because we all thought that the Knicks were going to bring a world title, and currently right now they are not doing too great.
Maybe, well, the Knicks might not be doing great, but we might be able to bring a MAC championship. Might be able to do that.
Well, we hope. We cross our fingers and hope that, that game Thursday was just unbelievable.
That was
That was
insane.
unbelievable. If you guys
You were sitting, Pepe, and I was sitting on the floor, and I'm sitting like this with my camera. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it was anybody who's not from Iona, I suggest you go on our Instagram page, go to the Iona men's basketball.
Check out Sideline Iona for the comments.
Yes. Just search up Iona and you'll find the
everywhere.
video. You'll know what we're talking
It's
about.
all over ESPN college basketball if you look it up.
Yes, it was a crazy nail-biting game with the top dog and Mary Mac Warriors when thought we were going to lose by 2 and we were going to have a 3-game losing streak.
And we ended up losing by 1. Winning by 1, sorry.
Yeah, Toby Harris, shout out to him, man. When he gets that 3-pointer ball and he hits that step back 3 in that corner.
When he gets it, he gets it.
He gets it.
When it's going in too. It's like you can see it. The trajectory line, his path, he knows.
He was missing shots early on in the game, and then he started to find it. And I'm thinking in my head, okay, if they just pass it to Toby, that's it. The game's over. And sure enough, CJ got the ball, passed it to Lamine. Lamine passed it to Toby. Toby did his step back 3. Boom, sent Iona University into a frenzy. And I will never forget that game because that was one of the craziest games I've ever seen. A buzzer beater at Iona University.
We got like 30 seconds. Let's just talk about Saturday night for a second. Saturday night was another good game.
Yes.
The way that they defended on Saturday, look, believe it or not, Manhattan was putting up a good fight. They were putting up a good fight defensively. And I mean, they were kicking the guys to the ground, but
they were, first gold rush game. I didn't know what to expect because it's all this rivalry and everything. Now I know what a gold rush game. And the question that remains on my mind after this weekend is, what is a Jasper, Johnny?
Well, it's funny you asked that question. A Jasper, I actually looked this up because I wanted to know. A Jasper is some type of religious figure, and it's a brother. So a Jasper is their mascot, and it's a brother. So, that's all it is.
Wow. Now we finally answered the big question that Killigan was asking all day Saturday.
Well, unfortunately, we are out of time. It is 12 o'clock. Thank you for watching Beyond the Scoreboard. Check in next week at 11:30 for episode 2 of season 2. See you later.